you're about to listen to our program Eng. We don't know why, however we are grateful you chose to. We do wish to inform you that the views, opinions and overall morality do not necessarily reflect those of the station, interview guests, sponsors or musical entities. If you should choose to continue, and we sincerely hope that you do, just know, we tried to advise you against these actions and we are not responsible for any damage done to your sanity, morals or ideals. Thank you. Here comes the terrible siren.
One of us. One of us.
I am aware
I am a humble man.
that you feel you don't belong.
I won't say you should follow me.
You are welcome. You are loved. Join us, and we shall reach the promised plain.
I'm not boastful, and my chorus is more soulful.
One of joy, one lacking pain. We are the cult of I am aware.
Don't say it. I can see
You
it.
feel you don't belong.
I don't wanna. You don't need it. Once again, we are legion. What I mean is, don't say it. I can see it.
Join us.
I don't wanna. You don't
We shall
need it.
reach
Once
the
again,
promised
we are
plain.
legion.
One of joy, one lacking pain. We are the cult of
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone in between. You're listening to the Cult of Odd. I am your friendly neighborhood cult leader, Odd, and with me is the lovely wife, Ollie.
Wow, you had me muted.
Because I only ever really use the one during the week, and I looked at it and I meant to turn it up, and I got no good excuses.
That was so rude.
Say hello. Because I'm afraid of what you'll say.
I'm not going to do it. Never mind.
All right, so brand new episode of the Cult of Odd. We're back yet again. It's the holidays, so like everybody else is busy. Although I did hear Ace will be here next week,
Okay.
and it will be our pre-Christmas show.
I don't like the way you said that.
Our pre-Christmas show. I have an idea on what to call it. That's all. So we'll be playing probably like remixes of Christmas songs or EDM or trap music, Christmas themed music.
Next week.
Yeah, next week. This week, though, I wanted to give some of our newer listeners a chance to hear the music that we normally play.
Yeah.
And speaking of our newer listeners, I want to give a big shout out to all of my friends down in Mainframe. They are currently sitting at the Doppler Theater, listening to our show. We love each and every one of you, and we can't wait to see you until after the show.
Yeah,
we're going to do an after party at the Cyber Bar. So if you're listening and you ain't got shit to do after we're done, it'll take me about 30 minutes to wake up in the city. Just 30 minutes. Grab food, grab drink. We'll have beer, music, and good times.
love that you're advertising for an event. I can't. It's weird.
Well, it should be really weird for most of my listeners because they know that I'm a shut-in.
Oh yeah,
I'm a total recluse.
Why is he talking about an after party?
Yeah.
What the fuck happened to him?
If you know, you know. And if
No.
you don't know, you'll never know.
No.
But so this week is going to be a weird mixed bag because I got some stuff left over from last week that I really didn't get to, and I got a couple of things.
You
Kind
didn't
of holiday.
get to stuff last week with Corey here? No. I certainly didn't notice that there was only one story you guys got to that whole 3-hour show.
But we filled a 3-hour show.
Mostly because you and Corey. It's okay. It's the same thing it is every time. If we have a fire in the backyard and Corey shows up, it's the same thing. You two riff on each other for literally hours straight.
Yep. And then you throw Ace in there and Ken in there, or any number of others. Look, Ace has said this numerous times. Our show is simply the conversations that we would be having normally with or without the microphones.
Yep. It's just a little more entertaining with the microphones because other people get to hear it.
Yeah, that's really the end of it. It is slightly more entertaining because we know that the microphones are there, and we know that someone's going to enjoy it. But
Tolerate it.
yeah, however you want to look at it. Go ahead and talk again. I want to see something.
Is the microphone doing something weird?
Just trying to make it so it's not super loud for everybody. My voice is a little bit in the basement. This is slightly different. I do believe that I might be getting sick. I'm not entirely sure, but I'm snotty and sneezy, and I'm tired.
I feel like I haven't slept in 3 weeks.
Well,
And I've slept really well. Honestly. I've slept really well.
yeah,
But
all right. That's the lie you want to tell yourself. I'm not gonna.
it's not a lie, though. I have slept really well. The only time I didn't was the last, 2 nights. That was it.
That's true.
I've had it because I was really sick the last 2 nights. But I feel like I've been on the road for 4 days straight.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Speaking of on the road, my little brother is on his way back from his great big adventure off in the city of wind.
God, stop.
What?
He went to Chicago for 1 night. He didn't
I
traverse the entire continent
No.
for months straight.
in my head, it was just my brother in the movie A Baby's Day Out.
Stop.
Like,
That's
not
so rude.
not a baby per se, not him as a baby, but just all the series of calamitous events that had happened within that movie. Yeah, that's what was in my head. I've mentioned this before. My brother and I are 16 and a half years apart. And as such, I've been big brother, but due to our upbringing, I've also been parental figure C, I guess. Well,
I get it. I know.
yeah.
He had a mom. But the dad shifted.
Mom and biological father would be A and B. I am parental figure type C.
Either way. Yeah, it was his first big outing on his own, and he's not home yet, but he will be soon, and we're excited to see him because it's been quiet.
Yeah. Well, it's weird too because I've been tracking his ass the whole way. He knows. All right, I'm not fucking that creepy.
So we put a tracker, he put a tracker on his phone for safety, just in case something happened, because he is anxious, and it is his first trip out.
And he was going to Chicago, for Christ's sakes. Anyone coming to Detroit, put a fucking tracker on your phone if it's your first fucking time. If you don't have someone there showing you around, put a goddamn tracker on your phone and tell someone you love.
Yep.
I'm not gonna lie,
We've had enough human trafficking incidents in the city just next to us that it's...
Look, bottom line is, you never know what's going to happen, and it's always nice to have that layer of safety. You give it to one person who you absolutely trust.
Even if it's a false sense of safety.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not like me knowing where he was is really going to help me get him home. All it's going to do is be like, hey, that's where he was. That's the last ping. Go look there and see what happened.
Yeah, but he's almost home.
Yeah.
It'll be nice to have him home again, because it's weird. He's only been gone 1 night. Literally. 2 days, 1 night. And it has felt weird. Weird.
It's quiet.
It is
Except for the
quiet.
fucking dog and the cat.
Those two have been fighting all day. Literally, we woke up and they started.
Yeah. I've never wanted to have a giant cartoon mallet more than to not today to knock my dog out.
Well, the cat's doing it too because he's been antagonizing him.
Yes, but if you knock out one of them, that's it. Like, if you're in a fight with, like, another person or even two other people, if you knock out one of them, the other one may chill the fuck out. May.
Not your cat.
No, my cat wakes up and chooses violence every day.
Literally.
We had a good response from last week's show.
Yeah.
Numbers are up, which is weird because usually after I've been off for a little bit, you know, it's hard to regain that momentum.
And it popped right back like we never left.
So I'm glad you like being a member of a cult.
I'm glad you wait for us.
Tonight's music, we got 2 Christmas songs. Actually, technically, we got 3 from 3 friends of ours. We have Carmel Liburdi with Christmas on the Rocks. We have the Chinchillionaires with Cup of Cheer. And we have Tom Smith with We Need a Little Krampus.
Yeah.
All right? Yeah. The Christmas songs. Christmas-y. Christmas adjacent. No?
You okay?
No. No, I am not.
Yeah, I feel you.
It's been made very clear. Speaking of not being okay, I asked a question earlier this morning. And my question was this. Is there some, I don't want to say physical deformation, but physical attribute of yours that you're keenly aware of, but nobody else would fucking notice, really?
Yes.
And I asked people what they were, and a couple of people answered. I did it this morning. Normally with my questions, I ask early in the week, and it has a whole week to get answers to it. One person said that they have an eyelid that droops slightly, and that nobody can see it, but they know, they feel it. They see it and they feel it and they hate it. Another person who is in a band, a guitarist or a bassist, I forget which.
Have the guitar knuckles.
The guitar knuckles. I don't know how to describe it any other way. I couldn't even begin to tell you what his fingers look like. But if you're friends with a guitarist or a bassist, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Like, they bend kind of backwards a little bit. They're weird. Like I said, if you're friends with a guitarist or a bassist, you know what I mean. And then, I said I'd share mine on the show tonight. And I realized mine. You see, my brain works in funny ways, especially when I first wake up. It's at its most random, usually within the first 20 minutes of me being awake. So I got up this morning and I got into the shower. And as I was showering, you wash all over. And then you have the undignified task of washing your ass. And I realized at that moment that one of my arms is just ever so slightly shorter than the other. And I've never noticed it before. And I realized one arm can reach perfectly fine and the other one is just on the struggle bus.
You're terrible.
What's yours?
I've got a few of them.
All right, well, just pick one that you're not afraid to share.
My face structure, my eyebrow, my brow bone on one side goes over farther.
Yeah, I don't see it, but you know what? But you know what?
You see what I mean?
I would understand though why you would see it though, is because when you're doing makeup,
I trace the brow bone.
Makeup is fucking wizardry, by the way. It is flat out wizardry. It is tricking your eyes. Women are the greatest illusionists that ever walk the face of the planet.
The first time you ever watched me contour, you're like, what the fuck is that? You look like you're smearing money.
They know how to.
By the end of it, you're like, what the fuck?
They are pure artists. They know how to balance color, light, shading, structure, all of it. They know how your eye is going to perceive their face, and they are in control of what you see. What?
You're not wrong.
But no, and if you don't know, I mean, even if you don't have a woman in your life that you can sit and watch put on makeup, go fucking watch a makeup tutorial on YouTube. It is amazing the shit that they can pull off. And what's really cool for me is like I don't give a shit about how do I make the perfect cat eye or how do I wear smoky eyeliner properly. No.
I want you to realize that he knows exactly what those things are because of me.
Here's the thing. What I find interesting is when they take makeup and they restructure their entire face with it, almost as if it's like a cosplay or, movie makeup and whatnot. And there's some really cool stuff out there. I've seen like black and white Chet patterns where it looks like parts of their face are actually off of their goddamn face. I think it's the coolest thing ever. I'm a giant nerd when it comes to makeup and special effects. So
it just blended because I literally watched, what was it, for like the first year and a half we were together, I watched like a bunch of makeup stuff. It's just what I was into during that point, which I still will if it's certain ones, but
I unfortunately know who Jeffree Star is, who Charles James is, or James Charles, or whatever the fuck his name is.
Yeah. He has a lot of beauty.
I know a lot of names. My brain, unfortunately, has way too many pockets filled with all of this nonsense that I will never use.
You know that challenge that girls get their like boyfriends or their husbands to do of like you get to do my makeup type of thing? I could never like get you on that just to see how absurd you do it because one, you've watched me do it so many times, and two, you've watched videos. It's the same thing as with the hair dyeing because I've watched so many hair dye videos and you've watched me and we like cringe watching them and you're like, no, you're not supposed to do it that way. You've got to start at the other side of that. And it's like, bruh.
As I've said many times before, I was raised by predominantly all women, okay?
And you're as catty as a woman.
Damn straight, equality. I've helped my mother dye her hair. I've helped every woman that I was with dye her hair. I've helped cut most of the women I've been with hair. I have done typically feminine bonding things with the women that I'm with. I don't think I could do your makeup as good as you do it just because I don't have the muscle memory from the years of doing it.
Yeah, because what would take you 2 to 3 hours on my face, I could do in like 30 minutes.
Flip that, reverse it, and that's me. Anyways,
what the fuck is wrong with you?
But like I've done monster makeup and stuff like that for Halloween, and I know some things. I know enough to be dangerous, basically. I know it freaked my ex-wife out to no end when my stepson wanted to be Edward Scissorhands for Halloween.
Oh, you were able to do that, yeah.
Yeah, because the grease paint and the latex scars that I had put on his face, they weren't. It wasn't working together. And when we had gone to buy the makeup, I said, I need the palest foundation you can find. And she looked at me like I was crazy. And I was like, trust me. And you mix the grease paint and the foundation together, and then you pat on a little bit of foundation after you're done, and it sets everything. You get the kid to stay still for, like 5 minutes, and it sets.
The fact that you know how to, and that's the setting with the powder foundation on top. He could literally watch me set my entire face and be like, oh, you missed a spot. He could see it a mile away. It's so weird.
Yeah. But I forgot how we even got here. Where did we go wrong?
I don't know. We both have ADHD and we're not completely on our game. But I think there was a point.
But there usually is a point somewhere. We'll get there eventually.
In our marriage, where I'm pretty sure you could have named each Morphe palette because there were. Yeah, the flashbacks in his eyes right now.
Help.
The amount of times, which early on before fuck Jeffree Star, but before all of that happened, he would sit and watch me.
Send help. Keep going. By all means, keep.
The different swatches. No, stop.
Help me.
Stop.
Okay.
No, you would sit and watch the different swatches of lipstick and stuff like that he would do when he released a new line, and some of it.
No.
Honestly,
You would sit and watch them.
No, you were.
I would just vaguely pay attention to the TV.
You did like that the colors weren't normal color. You liked the fact that there was some wildness to it.
But I also sat there and was like, why is there so little of it in there? And like, why do like 6 of them colors look the same?
And they're $45 a lipstick.
You're getting a palette that 12 that's going to cost you $60, and 6 of the fucking
You're not wrong.
6 of the damn colors look almost identical.
But they're not, and that's what helps with shading and blending, and you know that. And
I swear you've been sold that lie.
No, because please remember, when you're doing things in your Photoshop program, you need the middle color of that.
Yeah, no, I get it, but damn it.
The makeup train, making me want to do makeup.
Oh, yeah, that costs money. Let's not talk about that.
Wait, wasn't there a new palette dropping?
Nope.
Wait.
Not at all.
Wait, that dropped in October. Why didn't you remind? I'm very mad.
Hey, so there's a new video game out, High on Life, and it is from some of the creators
How
of...
did you know you haven't put down the RPs?
I don't know what you're talking about. Creators of Rick and Morty. High on Life was one that I want to play. I've actually got it downloaded. I just haven't touched my Xbox in a few days. Weeks.
A few
months.
days. It's been well over a month and a half.
Well, I mean, but everything I need is right here. The sound quality is better. Here's what it is.
Okay, I want to tell you this. No, I'm going to preface this. A year ago, I tried to get this motherfucker to switch to PC, and he was sold on his Xbox was the only thing he would ever need or want. He didn't understand it. He didn't get it. And he was like, no, I'm Xbox. I'm not switching to PC gaming.
Is
no.
The only reason this happened is because the PC for the show got upgraded, and it can now handle playing games. And I want to remind you, I was forced into playing games on it because you just kept bitching that I wasn't.
Yeah.
That I preferred my Xbox, that I played my Xbox. So I started on PC gaming.
With a few of us because we were doing like Grounded and things like that.
The problem is that Xbox Party Chat is just straight dog shit. Just straight dog shit. And I bitched for a longest time, why won't they integrate Discord? And then they did. And it's dog shit.
It's so bad.
It is so much dog shit. Now here on the PC, Discord works perfectly fine. The in-game and proximity chat stuff on a lot of games works perfectly fine, unlike on Xbox where it can be spotty at times. And I'm here 95% of my time during the day. If I'm not playing a game, I'm working on the show. If I'm not working on the show, I'm creating a graphic or editing a video, or I'm already here. I don't have to move very much. You know, I pretty much get up, get to my battle station in the morning, work my ass off to get time to be able to go do what I want to do afterwards. And I don't know, it makes more sense. Although I do need to make time, and if I can, I'll probably try to do it this weekend. I want to play High on Life. I really do. But the reason I brought it up is because there is a 90-minute movie in High on Life that you can sit and watch. Now, if that doesn't sound weird enough...
Isn't there another one where they're just watching Tammy and the T-Rex?
That's the movie.
Is it the whole time? That's the movie?
Yes, it is.
I thought it was two separate, okay?
No.
Because here's the thing. I've already watched that movie. I don't need to watch it again.
Oh, it is a very bad movie. I like it because it's cringe, and you know, I like a lot of the really bad, weird shit.
Honestly, that's one of the weirdest movies that I've ever watched, and I didn't hate it. I didn't hate it. Is it stupid? God, yes.
Yeah, you could literally watch the entire Tammy and the T-Rex movie.
If I don't stop yawning, oh my God.
You need to wake up. Why don't at break you make coffee or something? No? All right.
You're right. I haven't had any caffeine today.
No, and you have caffeine. You chose this life. You did this.
Don't say that too loud. My inner demons might hear you.
But yeah, so I thought it was wild. We talked last week about our life in the RP server and how we thought it was cool that you could put
Movies on within.
Yeah. I really do think this is going to be some weird bridge that happens fairly quickly.
You're a weird bridge.
Sure. I think there's a way to really do something with this.
Absolutely mix realities.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Why?
Holy fuck, I gotta stop yawning. I gotta wake up.
Wow.
I can't. Yeah.
You let that much dead air go just for a yawn.
I can't help it. My brain froze during the yawn. Anyway, I don't like it only because my brain doesn't know how to process it.
Well, your brain's been running away from reality for so damn long anyways with games like The Sims, Animal Crossing, Minecraft.
Stop. Leave me alone.
Reality's just finding you.
No, God. That's not what I
I'm
mean.
gonna find you.
I don't want that.
Here comes reality.
No, I hate it. But I already have processing issues within my brain. We know this.
Well, just
Not a
upgrade your
surprise.
computer then.
What?
Just get a new motherboard and processor. No?
Actual brain.
Oh, upgrades won't work, huh?
Fuck off! But it's like this weird thing of my brain doesn't know how to handle the mixing. It's not. I'm not gonna be obviously like on a soapbox like back in my day. No, but
You're getting there.
No, I'm not.
You will.
I'm all for it. I just personally can't handle it.
And yet you wanted me to come play in your worlds every single time. You bring me into your escape. Why?
Because if I don't get to stay there long.
Real life does happen. We have to deal with it.
It's not what I meant, but okay.
We have holiday horror stories.
Woo!
Not like horror, but like disastrous family holiday horror stories coming up after the break. I found a thread on Reddit, and I'm going to read you some of them.
That's almost as bad as what I wish you would have done last week.
What?
I had a list of Thanksgiving flatbacks. They're my favorite.
Wow.
Oh, aren't you on your third play? Ain't you on your third husband? Like,
Yeah.
oh, God, I love those.
But yeah, after the break, we're going to do some stories from Reddit, and then I've got a few other stories to carry us through. I'll be honest with you. I'm going to do 3 hours, but it's going to be a struggle tonight.
I don't want to.
No, it's just, we're tired. Like I said, I don't feel the greatest, and, I've still got so much to do before I get to sleep.
And I got work in the morning.
Yep.
I hate it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, shit, I'm going to be up editing more than likely in the morning.
At least I have that job interview on Monday.
Yeah. You're going to get songs from Carmel Liburdi, Christmas on the Rocks. You're going to get Cup of Cheer from the Chinchillionaires. And you're going to get We Need a Little Krampus from Tom Smith when we head to break, which we will be doing shortly. I want to remind you that the sale at MotorCityCandleworks.com is still going. This is the last week for it. You will get 2 free bath bombs if you spend $20 or more before tax and before shipping through MotorCityCandleworks.com. And if you go find them on Facebook, they've just announced a bunch of new scents, and they've got a bunch of new soap ready. So you can get soap, you can get incense, you can get bath bombs. There's a whole bunch of new stuff all over at MotorCityCandleworks.com. You're listening to the Cult of Odd on TapDetroit.com, and we will be right back after this.
Now it's time for our Patreon shout-out. Big thanks to C. Weezy, Rice Rogers, Justin Burnside and Zaldor of Zaldor's World Podcast for becoming a patron. Welcome to our Holy Mother and the throne she sits upon, who have joined the Cult of Odd Plus. We hope you enjoy our long, uncut and girthy episodes until you're fully satisfied and left shaking from laughter. For everyone else, you can join our Patreon too. Just head to patreon.com/cultivodd. Become a patron and reap the benefits today.
Tired of regular bar food and bar atmospheres?
Yes!
Do you long for a place that feels like home, where you're treated as family and not just another customer?
Yes! Yes!
Then Big League Brews is the place for you. Their menu is the most extensive in all of Downriver. They have an excellent breakfast selection, and they're also well known for their burgers and wings. But hey, if you don't want to believe just some guy on the radio, Big League Brews has been voted best sports bar in Metro Detroit by Click on Detroit 6 years in a row.
Wow!
They have the friendliest staff and a wide array of cocktails and beers, 26 of them on draft, with new creations regularly.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
And if you're looking for work, Big League Brews offers the most competitive wages with great medical and dental and vision benefits and plenty of paid time off. So what are you waiting for? Get on over to Big League Brews, located at 20428 Ecorse Road in Taylor, Michigan, or head to bigleaguebrews.com for more info. Big League Brews, go beyond ordinary. Eat and drink extraordinary.
It's time for seasonal beer and holiday cheer. Come on, everybody, gather round. They'll be dancing and singing, those sleigh bells are ringing, and everyone you love is in town. So for those who don't call you on Christmas, tell them to go stuff a stocking. Everyone knows they'll get nothing but coal when Santa Claus comes a-knocking. Oh, holiday, schmoliday, wish they would call a day. Don't worry, you're not alone. Oh, you've been waiting all year to celebrate here with all the good people you know. Been waiting on kisses, on presents, on wishes, and maybe a little bit of snow. But be careful, remember last time when you gave Rudolph too much wine. Dancer and Blitzen ran off and went missing, and Comet and Cupid resigned. Oh, holiday, schmoliday, reindeer, a walladay. Don't worry, never again. So if you're thinking of staying at home to have Christmas all on your own, well, you'd better answer the phone, because I won't let you spend it alone. Oh, holiday, schmoliday, reindeer, a walladay. Wish they would call a day. You'll have a ball a day. Everyone's drunken and jolly. Good golly, it's Christmas. Everyone's drunken and jolly. Everyone's drunken and jolly. Everyone's drunken and jolly. Good golly, it's Christmas.
I don't know if there'll be snow, but have a cup of cheer, have a cup of cheer, have a cup of cheer.
Sunrise calling us all. I hear my Grammy talking out in the hall. Our whole family getting ready for Christmas Day. Oh yeah. paper is torn. It's the day that a savior was born. My little Grammy in the corner just slipping away. She sat there in a rocking chair, thinking and drinking from a cup of cheer. That's how we did it way back in the holidays. Youngins running all over the place. My two-timing uncle just stuck in his face. That's how we did it way back in the holidays. She was a child of the mountain fog, ran a distillery down by the bog. All the people in the holler called her a witch, a tisk. She made medicine and bitter brewed mushroom tea, whiskey shine, and she taught it to me. And to this day, I'm a hard drinking son of a bitch. Yeehaw! She's sitting there in a rocking chair, thinking and drinking from a cup of cheer. That's how we did it way back in the holidays. Youngins running all over the place. My two-timing uncle just stuffing his face. That's how we did it way back in the holidays. Boogie, woogie, 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 woo. She in the backwoods cooking up a brew, gripping on, sipping on a cup full of 100 proof. Boogie, woogie, 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 woo. We dance by the light of the moon, in the Christmas spirit, conjured up by that old voodoo. She sat there in a rocking chair, thinking and drinking from a cup of cheer. That's how we did it way back in the holidays. Youngins running all over the place. My two-timing uncle just stuffing his face. That's how we did it way back in the holidays.
Haul out the holly. It's time for Santa to reward the nicer kids and punish the folly of the naughty ones and all the things they did wrong. 'Cause we need a little Krampus right this very minute. He knows you've been bad and there's no way you can spin it. There's an awful lot of trouble and you're hip deep in it. You'll wish for Scrooge's type of haunting. You've been judged and you're found wanting. Half goat, half demon, with a big long tongue and birch to switch you with. Please stop your screaming. It only makes him angry. You wouldn't like him that way. For he's grown a little leaner, grown a little colder, grown a little meaner. He don't care that you're older. If you end up on his list, he'll dislocate your shoulder. We need a little Krampus now. All out the bodies, forget the list this year, and we'll get all of them. Kids nice and naughty, we'll flog and maim and torment from Thanksgiving through Lent. And we need a little Krampus for each unruly toddler making up for parents who spoil him or coddle her. Yeah, we need a little Krampus, like craft beer needs a bottler, like an evil cattle drover. Move it, Claus, I'm taking over. Crawl up the chimney, dragging the kids all shackled in my chains of iron. Celebrate grimly. I'll make Jack Skellington look like he's not trying at all. For we need a little terror, need a little shrieking to contrast with the bearers of Jesus' gifts, the three kings. So if you hear something downstairs, don't you dare go peeking. We need a little Krampus. Those carols you are humming? For kids, adults, and grandpas. Santa isn't coming. We need a little Krampus now. Merry Christmas.
Are you tired of incense that stinks? Motor City Candleworks is Metro Detroit's #1 source for premium handmade incense, as well as hand sanitizer and now massage oil, with a wide array of scents inspired by Michigan cities and attractions. You're sure to find a fragrance that'll keep your love of the mitten burning all year round. Head to MotorCityCandleworks.com and order yours today. And make sure you find them on Facebook, too, for all of their upcoming sales and events. Motor City Candleworks. Michigan handmade scents that just make sense.
That smell, the kind of smelly smell.
Here comes Santa Claus, here comes Santa Claus, right down Santa Claus Lane.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. If you're just joining us, you're listening to the Cult of Odd on TapDetroit.com, and I am your friendly neighborhood cult leader, Odd. With me is my wife, Ollie.
Hello. I'm currently lighting incense.
She's playing with fire. Don't let her lie to you.
We just did the ad. I must light one.
Okay, that's whatever. The holidays can be rough for everyone because mostly due to the fact you have to deal with family. Now, some of you may love your family and may look forward to it every year. But some of us out there, yeah, we're not in that boat. We're not even in that river.
We haven't even found that part of the country yet.
No, we're standing in a barren wasteland.
Oh.
Between differing political, social, theological, all the different ideologies that exist. The holidays are the most terrible time of year because you know you're going to have to sit through your weird uncle's rant about the government, or you know you're going to have to sit next to your great aunt who is a religious, holy rolling Bible thumper and wants to tell you all about Jesus and why you're going to hell unless you love him. Some of you are having flashbacks right now, and I apologize.
You targeted me. You spent time with my family. You targeted me.
But the problem is that's in everybody's family.
No, but I saw the look in your eye. You targeted specifics.
Yeah, sorry.
You're not, though.
You know what you know, right? Well, anyways, so post is several years old, so whatever. But it's share your crappy Christmas stories. Obviously, random user wrote, "Merry Christmas, dear Redditors. After spending the entire Christmas day alone and eating day-old pizza, I feel pretty sorry for myself. Something has to change. So instead of doing something about it, I ask you people to share your Christmas horror stories. What's in it for you? The 3 best or worst, blah, blah, blah." Yeah, he offered up money for the best and worst. My favorite crappy Christmas story, Boraz writes, was when my ex had been on an oil painting course, so I I bought her all of the gear for Christmas. Easel, oil paints, fine art brushes, the lot. And that shit ain't cheap either. I'd bought it over several months and got her the best of everything. Brilliant present, or so I thought. Cut to Christmas Day and the big present opening. She opens all this stuff, bursts into tears, and runs out of the apartment and gets in the car and drives off, nearly crashing said car into the neighbor's wall. It took me 8 hours to track her down and find out what the fuck just happened. Turns out she hadn't been on an oil painting course. She'd been cheating with some married guy every Wednesday in a hotel down the road. Ah, damn. Damn.
God. That. Fuck.
That's painful. Yeah, that's fucking terrible.
That's.
Last year, my mom, an appalling drunk and pill popper, ha ha, crap, ha ha ha, wrote, fell down the stairs, half naked, and broke 3 ribs. My girlfriend was present, and this was her into the secret I'd been trying, or this was her introduction to the secret that I was desperately trying to hide. The year before was also spent in an ER as my mom had overdosed on Xanax, and I had to call 911. This Christmas Eve, I came home from a friend's house with a copy of Casablanca, my mom's favorite movie. I was thinking it would take her out to celebrate Christmas and her 5-month sobriety, and her first Christmas sober in a long time. What I found was my mother laying on the floor, half naked, in a puddle of her own urine, with 1.5 gallons of empty vodka bottles, and additional 1.5 gallons of unopened bottles. I briefly considered taking a pillow and smothering her to put her out of her and my misery. I didn't, though. I just went downstairs and started talking to my brother in North Carolina. He made me feel a bit better. Merry fucking Christmas.
Jesus. Ugh.
Deleted user says, I posted this before but got some shit for it, so here goes. When I was a teenager, my dad made us listen to the entire book of Job one day on Christmas. He has this monotone Bible reading style. It put us to sleep all the time as kids, and which would infuriate him, so he'd jab us hard with his finger or whatever else he had in his hand. Now keep in mind we had a family business in a mall at the time, so we all worked many, many hours in the days leading up to Christmas. We were exhausted from that and depressed after another shitty haul of Christmas gifts and sick of listening to him rant. Oh, and have you ever read the book of Job all the way through? It's fucking depressing, especially on Christmas. We had to sit there and listen to all 40 chapters, drifting off to sleep every half hour and being jabbed awake by a callous finger to the neck. Then he had a fit that my mom's roasted chicken was too dry, so he tore it all up before she could bring it to the table. Mixed all the dark and white meat together in chunks in the pan drippings and banged it down on the table, insisting that he had saved Christmas dinner. My mom spent the rest of Christmas in her bedroom in tears.
Jesus fuck. Abusive father for the win.
For the win of what?
We all know that terrible Christmas is just a contest at this point.
Jesus fucking Christ, if it is. God help you if you win. 1 year back in the 70s, my mom did not get much of anything from my dad. All he bought her was a lighted slide sorter for pictures, which would be fine if she took pictures. After all the presents were opened, she went to her room and cried while my dad set up the slide sorter and organized his slides.
Jesus. That's the shit I fucking hate. God.
On Christmas Eve, my dog was sick and not eating. On Christmas morning, he was vomiting and had blood and worms in his crap. We looked for a dewormer at the only store that was open, but they didn't have anything. We took him to the vet, and they told us he had parvo. To leave him there, we would have to pay $1,000, so we chose to take him and some medicine the doctor gave us home. We took him home. We gave him the medicine. He seemed to get better, but after a while, he got like he was that morning. The good thing was he wasn't vomiting anymore, but he was still moaning and his breathing seemed off. I stayed up all night giving him penicillin and eggs that we threw in the blender. It's 5 a.m. now, and he's starting to eat on his own. Well,
I mean, a good ending, but find out your dog has parvo. Parvo is one of those fucking diseases you don't wish on any animal. Jesus.
True. Another deleted user said, while I can't compete with eating day-old pizza, I seem to be dreading Christmas more and more each year. This year, I had to put up with my family bitching and moaning about other family members that weren't present because they were too busy for Christmas. And also how much Grandma Joy should really stop drinking. Somehow, in the midst of all of it, I managed to zone out at the table and get as drunk as possible. So not so bad. And truth is, by can number 6, it's actually not bad at all. At the end of the day, I think to myself, it could be worse. I could be unfortunate enough to not have a family at all. Anyways, I'm rambling. I forgot what the question was. Let's see. I have not gotten to open a present in 4 years. Root beer slam. My dad is retired and is sick. They are spending a good chunk of the pension money helping my brothers with their house payment. My cousin killed a motorcyclist in an accident one year. It was declared that all the present money from aunts and the big family Christmas would go to the scholarship of the dead kid. So no presents for my generation, but all my cousins' kids get presents. That was the last place I would get a present. My dad was in the hospital the Sunday before Thanksgiving. He came home last Saturday. I put up the tree Tuesday. I helped with the shopping for dinner on Wednesday. Thursday, I helped clean. Friday, I hurt my back at the family gathering. Saturday, I set up all the food with a bad back.
Jesus.
Christmas was always I don't like the holiday, first off. I think we could just skip right.
Stop you for a second?
What?
Because I want to take note of what you just did.
What?
You just flicked the ash off of a cigarette that wasn't lit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm used to sitting here. No, Christmas, I don't like Christmas. I think it's stupid. Thanksgiving and Christmas both, I could just do away with. Let's just make Halloween last 3 months and make me happy. All right? Christmas is commercialized. Christmas is expensive. And it's just, I don't get the point of it. I don't. Growing up, we were too poor. We didn't have Christmas. Christmas wasn't a real big thing for us. My grandparents, on the other hand, they made sure that the grandkids had something. Yeah. But for me growing up, there wasn't a lot unless it came from my grandparents. As an adult or as I got older, Christmas just didn't mean that much to me. Everybody else was all excited about what they were going to get to open up on Christmas Day, and I was like, well, I'll get to see my grandparents at some point that day, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, the whole present aspect of it never really had much of an effect on me. And I think that's part of the reason why I don't like Christmas is I didn't have that traditional experience that everyone else seems to have.
Christmas was an all-out ordeal for my family.
Yeah, well,
it was a huge thing.
There's
a lot of us.
Yeah. Same with birthdays, though. We weren't religious. It wasn't like we were Jehovah's Witnesses or any religion that didn't believe in that. We were poor.
Yeah.
And so as an adult, those things tend not to matter as much. Much to the chagrin of my wife, who, bless her heart, she's tried very hard to make up for mistakes she didn't make. And this year, I honestly was trying. I tried a little more this year than I normally do, because normally I'm a stickler. That fucking tree don't go up until after Thanksgiving. The birds got to be on day 2 for me to be like, okay, let's the tree can go up. And then I want it down as soon as Christmas is over. Like, there is a very short window normally. And this year, after the day after Halloween, I looked at her and I was like, you know what? Go ahead and put the tree up and decorate if you want.
And I didn't, because I'm tired of getting shit on for it, so I just don't I don't try.
That was the funny thing this year, is I was like, yeah, go ahead, I don't care.
What's the point?
It doesn't feel...
Nobody enjoys it but me.
Yeah, no, this year, last couple of years, haven't really felt...
Ever since we lost your mom, it hasn't felt right, yeah.
It just, meh. Try again next year, I guess? I don't know. I know the rest of the world, I've got friends that work in retail and have been saying that, you know, the retail shopping season this year has been very strange because they're not getting as much shipments as they were. Yeah. And there's not as many people in the stores and people aren't buying. Yeah.
Shot the foot of everybody.
We're all fucking broke. The economy's in the crapper. So, yeah. I think everybody gets to experience a Christmas like my childhood this year. We're gonna have a decent meal though, right? That's the best you can hope for.
Yeah, that's really the only thing we really do.
I'm excited to hear that chocolate pie was on the list.
Yes, because I know you love my homemade chocolate pie.
And you're excited because I'm going to make the chip dip that's gonna make everyone fart. My house will levitate.
Fuck with me.
Does me and Eric though.
Yeah. Luckily, I'm in my office away from you guys most of the day.
Remember, hot air rises.
Okay.
So it'll come up, and then there'll be the cloud in the living room from Eric's room. So, I mean...
Shut my door and turn on my fan, it'll be alright.
We're just going to fart directly into the vent.
You guys are terrible.
Right into the vent. I don't know what Christmas was like for you. If it was a fun experience, cool. I'm happy for you. Me personally, I feel that the holiday could just be done away with and we'd all be better off. I feel a lot of people put themselves into debt trying to make up for the sins of the year. I feel a lot of the times when it comes to Christmas gift buying, the people that you see overbuying are trying to make up for something that happened earlier in that year. Like whether it was they yelled at their kids too much about homework or they weren't around enough to go to their kids' baseball, football, whatever games. I feel a lot of the overspending is guilt driven. I could be wrong, but I feel that...
I think it's different for every family.
Maybe. I know that I was always told as a kid that they wish they could give me what they had as Christmas.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, well, cool story, bro, but there's no presents under the tree still, so I appreciate the sentiment, but I'm going to go read a book.
Yeah. Yeah, see, I always had, Christmas was an ordeal at my house. Like, it was, we had... not so much after my dad died. But...
Once you lose the heart and soul of the family.
Yeah, and he was. From everything my family has ever told you, my dad was the heart of the family, and we just didn't get together that much after he died. Like, there was a lot of rifts in the family after that, and it just didn't ever come back together. But my dad made it an ordeal. Like, it was a thing. We would start setting up, November 1st, it was the tree, and it was a big tree, and he decked it every time, and it was a family event. It was me and my mom and my dad, and it was always him setting up his old train set, the big tree, the stockings on the mantle. It was a huge thing.
Well, it wasn't until I had lived down south and had... It was more prevalent when we were in Kentucky, but when I lived in Tennessee, too, you'd hear people talking about, yeah, I'm putting up a 7th tree. Where? Yep. Does every room of the house have a tree?
A lot of the time there was one in the bedrooms, there was one in the dining room, one in the living room.
Why? One Christmas tree. That's it. That's all you need. I'm half surprised I didn't see one in a bathroom somewhere. That would be attractive, wouldn't it? Those shiny baubles and you just staring at it while you're on the shitter. It's staring back at you.
You know those little tiny trees? The ones that are about like 12, 14 inches? Yeah. My aunt used to have one in the bathroom between the sinks.
Why? Jesus. More power to you, but I don't know.
Remember the time that my aunt was raised in? I'm talking about Aunt Dot.
Yeah.
It was much different, and the whole house was... Her house was immaculate, though, at any point in decoration. You remember that shit. She was the homemaker from the 50s that decided everything must be decorated to match.
I just hate how commercialized it is. Like...
And I think that's the thing that my family... Some parts of my family did that, but the other parts was like it was a sentimental, gather the family, have a nice meal holiday.
Yeah, but you have to buy gifts too. Kids expect gifts.
Well, I mean, my sister is 18 years older than me, so I was an only child, honestly.
Yeah.
So it wasn't that.
And I brought this up last week. Or the week before, or whatever. I take issue with the fact of lying to kids about Christmas, you know? And Corey was like, Corey had asked me, it was, well, what do you want the credit? Kinda, you know? But at the same time, like I said, my argument is this. You want your kids to feel like they can trust you and they can come to you and they can tell you anything. Why do you start that relationship off by lying to them? I see it's black and white for me. Yeah, you're either lying or you're not lying. You're either telling your child about Santa, the Easter Bunny, or Tooth Fairy, or I don't know. Is there a mythical creature for the Thanksgiving turkey?
No, that's called We Act Like the Pilgrims Weren't Terrible People.
Oh, okay. Well, either way, you lie to your kids. And I don't get it. I get that they're like, oh, most people will say it's a sense of wonder. You want to keep the magic alive in children. Why? There's no magic in real life. You know what the magic is? Poof, my money's gone. Abracadabra, the bills are due.
I don't know. There's magic in some things to me, but...
If Christmas is your thing, don't let me dissuade you in any way, shape, or form. You do you. You be happy. You spread cheer. You spread joy. It's fine. And even if you tell me Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays or Joyous Kwanzaa or...
I'm not going to be an asshole to you.
No. No, I don't give a shit. I understand what you're attempting to do. You're attempting to spread goodwill and kindness. Yeah. It really just depends on how you say Merry Christmas. If it's a, hey man, Merry Christmas, or if you come at me like, it's Merry Christmas, motherfucker. Yeah, you might get a little grumpiness. But
I'll flat out fuck you up over that shit.
But yeah, I'm grinchy, but not super. I'd rather the whole holiday just pass me by. When we come back, we're going to talk about holiday traditions from around the world, because I found a few of them, and some of them are pretty interesting. And then, again, like I said before, we're going to dive into some of the stories that we didn't cover when Corey was here, because we got a story. What was the story we covered? Do you remember? I know we got one out. One.
I could be mixing them up, but it feels like a woman killed somebody.
Oh, yeah. The woman that turned off the person's breathing and life support because it was annoying her.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, there's one. In this break, you're going to get Damo the Great with Wet Work. You're going to get Chandler with Haley Williams, and you're going to get Red with Walk Away. You're listening to The Cult of Odd on TapDetroit.com, and when we come back, remember, Christmas traditions from around the world.